Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. No tone, but Marto we have for episode 104 AC. Marto, how are you?
Taz, 104 not out. We've still got the bat raised, brother. We're heading on to 150. You're right. Yeah, unfortunately, without the big man Tone this week, he's a little bit busy, but we will battle through without him. We've got his tips, I understand, and we'll go through them, and I'm sure put plenty of poison on them or plenty of support behind them.
Look, we don't poison, not publicly.
No.
All right. How have you been? How's everything? You're all geared up for the Carlton playoff?
The participation stakes this week, mate. Really?
Can the Blue Boys win?
Uh, yeah, I think anyone who plays Carlton is in danger, to be honest, the way they played the back half of the season. But I wild card round. I just, like I said, I call it the participation round, mate. If you're not in the eight, you're not there. But I'm old school. This is the way the world is evolving. The AFL gets to sell tickets to two more games and TV rights to two more games. Now we've got 10 teams buying off over the next 5 weeks to find out the penultimate winner of the season.
Look, in some ways I agree with you, and in others I think maybe not. But I'll tell you what, you would be disappointed if you finish seventh or eighth, because
Mm.
you finish seventh or eighth, but potentially you could be out straight away to ninth or tenth.
Well, yes, but historically speaking, you're usually out straight away to sixth or seventh anyway, aren't you?
Well, yes, but I mean you don't like losing to the lower, and I guess this
No,
is
you don't.
great for your nine and ten. It's good for the bottom end, but is it now really becoming a top six? Do you know what I mean? Is that what they're saying? It's a top six with the
Well,
fighting it out for who picks up the breadcrumbs.
you could argue that, and you could also argue that only two teams have ever won from eighth position, and Adelaide and Bulldogs in the history of AFL VFL football. So, has it really changed? Has it always been about the top six anyway?
Yeah, well, you're probably right. It will be interesting. I know that the Blue Boys are there, and I think, if they can win one, great. If they don't, it doesn't matter. As someone else said this morning, on one of the radio shows, one of the jocks,
Mm.
you're playing with house money. Carlton are playing with house money.
Well, yes.
So, and I guess
It's good for the fans, I guess. You get to see another week of finals. Like I said, the AFL sells more tickets and more TV rights. But that aside, did you get to see the Legends game tonight?
I
That was a lot
didn't
of fun.
see a lot of it, but I did hear, did Buddy kick eight?
He kicked eight, but he had about 15 shots. They were
Yeah.
trying to set him up for the 10 because he gets $1,000 donated to prostate cancer research for every goal he kicks. Gary Ablett Jr. kicks four from outside the 50.
How many did
Uh,
you
Dust,
think?
Dusty got six. Great to see. Husey got two. He's going to be all over that on his podcasts.
Yeah. No, I tell you what, I saw Dusty kick one,
Yep.
and it was like a banana kick. Seriously, the guy
Oh,
he looks like he could still play.
no, absolutely. Him and Buddy, and even Gary Ablett Jr., although he's a little bit round now, he was all over the place and just didn't stop. And he's still got the silky smooth skills, deliver and lace out. Unfortunately, they're older boys, so they can't mark them lace out anymore. But that's the way they'll deliver it. It was
No,
great to see those legends going around.
I think they had
It's
about
good fun.
33,000, which is
Yeah, beautiful.
good out as well. So
All for a good
anyway,
cause, raising money for prostate cancer research.
absolutely. Now, big day of racing, and if I'm right, I think it's four group races and a listed at Caulfield.
No.
No, yep,
Oh, yes,
four
yes,
group and a
yeah. Three
listed.
group. Yeah,
I mean,
you're
whether
right.
they're group one, group three, whatever, but there's four
That's the
groups.
first group one. The Memsies.
Yes, it is. Yep, first one. But and two also, two group threes in Sydney, which
Correct.
basically is saying it's coming.
Ooh, you can smell it in the air, can't you? Spring is there.
Can we just hope that this year it smells more flavoursome rather than more pongy?
Yes, we do love the extra dollars in the pocket.
Absolutely. Now, let's not hold back. Tone's not here. Tone's got his kicker in race two at Rosehill, so I'm going to lead him
Oh,
with you.
highways.
I'll lead him with you because you've got yours before him.
first at Caulfield, I believe.
You first at Caulfield or first at
Sorry, first at Rose Hill. That's right. Yes, you're at Caulfield. Sorry, mate.
correct?
Yeah, we're going to Midway. There's a lot of talk about the number three Doratus, but I'm going to go with the big weight swing with break knock on. What do we get down to? 52 versus 57. Number 10. So I should say the horse. Number 10, Proxima Dia with Logan. Sorry, break knock on. Drawn a little bit tricky in barrier 9, but all the speed comes from 8, 9, 11, and 13. So they're all going to want to be forward. There's no speed underneath, so they shouldn't have any trouble crossing. I just love the way this horse finished off last start, this little filly. She's got faster sectionals than the number three. And I think the big weight swing, especially with Braith not claiming, she's deserved her place in this field and probably around equal favouritism, about $3.40.
340 it is. Well, let's go with Tones, who goes into race two. I think his is about $4.40, and he's gone race two, Rose Hill, number six, Zarik, if that's how you pronounce it, or
Z
Zariki.
Z
Depends.
Zalik. Zalik. There's an L in there, not an
Oh, it
R.
is an L. Sorry, it looks my handwriting looks like an R, but it's
Yes.
Zarlik, $4.40. I don't know much about it.
Yes.
It is a highway. Tone's the highway specialist. Um, so that's hopefully a nice little running double there to kick
Well,
us.
yeah, one is maiden in Grafton, then went up to Doomben and won there. Probably earned his spot in the highway. Matty Dunn, you just got to love Matty Dunn horses in a highway, drawn out, but there's no Nash on. There's no Gibbo on. It's got Regan Bayless because they've gone. Nash has gone to. Sorry, he's got Tommy Berry. Sorry, I'm getting confused. But yeah, Matty Dunn horses in a highway. You've always got to give him a chance.
He's got another one
Uh,
in that highway, hasn't he? I
yeah,
think
he's got a couple.
down the bottom. But good luck, Tone. I
Yeah.
myself, Marto, have
Mm,
gone to Caulfield Race One, number seven. Enviable. It's about $7.50. Now this thing comes down from Sydney with JMac on board and staying on board. Look, last start it was in the market and it ran right off the track. I go back to
yeah.
the race before that, and it still was running off the track. They reckon they've trialled it the Melbourne way. They reckon it went really well in a trial. This thing has been group placed earlier, so it's obviously got a bit of ability. It has raced down here in Melbourne. I just think with JMac sticking to it, I'm prepared to take on the favourite. And yeah, $7.50 is a good bloody price for a horse that has shown a
Certainly
lot,
is.
but maybe just not quite delivered yet.
Yeah, like you said, she has tended to lay out. She's got to put it all together, and if she does, she's going to be something a little bit special. I don't mind that horse. I'd be wary of Butternut Princess running on if they can.
Yeah.
I got a lot of time for Stealth of Night, the number three, but I really think she wants a good four to be running her best, and I don't think she's going to get that in the early races. It is going to
No.
dry out a little bit, but I think you're still going to stay in that soft 5 or 6 range, and it doesn't quite help her the way she needs it.
Look, I looked at Stealth Express and it Stealth of Night, sorry, and it's 1 second up. Its first
Yeah.
run was caught wide, so there are probably excuses for it. Butternut Princess, you're right. It's going to get back and probably work home. I think with the rail being out 4 meters at Caulfield, it may probably, favour leaders, might favour the one
Yeah,
in the
front runners. Yeah.
and I
But
think
Butternut's another one that needs a dry track too, mate. So if you're still in that soft range, everything does line up for enviable. They could be enviable of the price we're getting on Saturday.
absolutely. So that's our three kick starters. So we go nice and early with all of them,
Yeah.
which basically sets the tone for the day. If we hit and go bang,
Yes.
best
Well, we've
bets
been there before though, haven't we?
we have, and then we know how it goes. We sort of climb the mountain, we get there really quick, and then we fall off it quick
We
too.
peaked too early, mate.
Yeah, well, that's what my ladies used to say as well.
Yeah, here's a bit of lidocaine on the tip, mate.
I wish. Now, best bets, Marto.
Yeah,
Where are you going? Let's go
I'm
with
going to the
let's
first
go with
stakes
you
race.
first up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Group 3 at Caulfield, race 5, number 6. Shut up, bar. By this time of the day, I think we are going to get an improve up to at least a soft 5. Really sets it up for this horse. Drawn in barrier 1. Frosty Lane on. I'm not sure I like that because Williams has jumped off. He's jumped on the top weight. Um, but she's definitely going to be in the right spot. She has massive form behind her. She's going to have everything set up for you. Like you said, it's probably going to favour those leaders. She's drawn the pole. She goes forward. The only thing that messes up her chances is if Lane can screw up another ride. He hasn't been riding so well lately.
I've got a
But
question.
yes,
In this race, I know there's a dual acceptor photograph down the bottom now. It's 1-2 from two on
yeah.
a heavy. I know the track will improve, but do you reckon though if it runs, is it a chance, or do you reckon they'll take it to Sydney? Because I'd rather they took it to Sydney, to be honest.
I do think she'll be in Sydney, and her price in Sydney is a bit shorter. I think but the last couple of runs have been in Melbourne, the last few actually. But I don't know. She hasn't raced since what is it, March? So she could
Yeah.
be in Melbourne. She could be in Sydney. I think they were looking for a wet track. I don't think they're going to find a wet track at either of them. So
Yeah.
it just probably came down to the barrier draw as to whether they've stayed there or they've taken her across the border. But I haven't heard any news either way, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, it's just one that I sort of noticed in the race. I think
Yeah,
it's a tough
definitely.
race, and I think the favourite looks on paper the winner, but it's an interesting runner. I just thought.
The one I'd be more worried about is Custom.
Yeah.
Probably had excuses last start, but won well the start before.
Yeah.
Again on a soft track at Caulfield. I think she would be the danger at $6. But
If she gets it,
Shadavar, she looks a special horse, mate. She's coming on in leaps and
Motto,
bounds.
will Custom get too far back though?
Yeah, again, possibly. Yeah, if that does favour the front runners.
Yeah.
From barrier 5 too. Very good jockey on Ethan Brown, but also has that query that it might get boxed in and just not have the room. The gap
Yeah.
might not come because it is a big field as well.
Yeah. Well, Shadow, say it again for me.
Shadavar. Ethan
Shadavar.
Brown.
That's it.
Sorry,
One.
Damien Lane. Damien Lane.
Well, Tone is also sticking to Caulfield, so we'll get that one out of the way. And Tone's
Yep.
gone with race 10, number
Whoa.
12, 10 Commandments. It's at
Oh.
about $5.50. Do you know much about it at all? Have you had a look? I haven't really had a look at the
Yeah,
race.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I don't mind Ten Commandments. It's been racing well, but is it up to this sort of benchmark 100? Only just won over a benchmark 90 at last start. Also at Caulfield over the 1400. I don't mind it. I'm just not sure it's in the right class at a
Okay.
benchmark 100. Eventually, they've all got to go up in grade, I know, but I
Does
I
Sassafras just win it?
yeah, I was just looking at my number what I had.
Number 11?
Yeah, number 11, Sassapeel, very, very hard to beat. Drawn well enough, we'll get across. Logan Bates on claiming. Um,
Looks
I'm
a
just
real
looking at the
progressive one in that
form.
race, I think.
The query, yeah, it does, but the query is if the track dries out for it. It's never touched a wet track. But I mean, she's 5 from 6, and the other run was a second. So yeah, very, very good horse. Second up, great form, probably on her way back up to the mile. And yeah,
What
it's the
about
one to beat for sure.
what about the top weight? Another will come back to Melbourne, second up, or not second up, fourth up. Hasn't really shown a lot yet. This horse
No,
showed a lot of form early on, a lot of promise, but this
it did,
pack
and then
doesn't
it
seem.
hasn't. No, it hasn't produced at all. And it was only a average jump out that it's had in the lead up too. So I don't know. The jury's still out on another wheel, especially from barrier 14 too, with the big weight on.
Yep,
If they don't go fast, then it's a chance. But there's a bit of pressure up front here. I think they are going to have the pace on. But another wheel's got to show before I support it again.
yep. No, I'm pretty much in the same market there. Good luck, Tone. 10 Commandments for myself. Eagle
Yes,
Farm,
Tess.
race
Hmm.
9, number 5. Live a little, and that's what we all should be doing, and loving it a lot, especially when it goes past the post first up. Tony Gollan, Daniel Moore. It's been racing really well. This is its fourth start in. It's drawn nicely. Soft track suits, wet track suits, drying track suits because it's been placed everywhere. It's got a really good race record. 13 starts for 5 wins and 6 placings. You can't complain too much about that. It's by the Autumn Sun. which tells me 1600 is not going to be a problem. Raced on track. Its track record, I think it's had four there for a win in two places. Everything just lines up, and that's probably why it's $3.30 favourite. Um, yeah, I just think it's the horse to beat. It maps well. It probably races well there. Condition suit. I don't know what else to say other than this wins, in my opinion. It should win, in my opinion. Before you know it, I'm going to do the Maxwell Smart thing. Would you believe maybe then it might finish in the first four? How about in the first half of the field? Well, maybe it won't finish last. What do you reckon? I reckon it's a chance.
Well, it sounds good. You've sold it well. And yeah, Eagle Farm, there's plenty of room on that track. The Doomben track's a bit tighter, we all know. But Eagle Farm does race well, does race even, and everything has its chance. So yeah,
Tony Gollan,
I
mate,
haven't looked. Yeah, Tony Gollan. Yeah, exactly right. In the lead up to spring.
I did look at going back and up, going back to the well with scripted. I think it was running somewhere in Sydney over
Yeah.
1400, but it's I saved. I mean, I've mentioned it now that that was the other option, but I
Yeah.
guess I've saved that one to either lose my own money. Do you know what I mean?
Or
Than
celebrate quietly.
or celebrate quietly. Absolutely. But anyway, now it's probably out there. So the roughies, we'll get those out of the way as well. And I've noticed
Yes.
you and Tony have got something very very similar in regards to these, and it's not the same race.
No.
But there is a common theme. So Tones is race five at Rose Hill, number six, called Cuban Cigar. It's
Mm.
around about the 20 to 1. I don't know too much about it, but race six, number five, Cuban Cigar. Sounds like Tone will be probably kicking back on one if it gets up. Marto, you're also at Rose Hill,
Race
and
five,
you
number
are
six, that
on.
was. But
Is
yes,
it
I'm
race four,
going
is it?
to no, race five, number six. Yeah, the
Yeah,
numbers reversed. A little bit of mathematics there.
yeah,
And it's actually in my numbers as a rough chance, but it done an Ollie favourite. It's going to be hard to beat there. But this is why we pick roughies. You need that upset, don't you?
absolutely.
Again, Rose Hill race 10, we're taking on a short price favourite in number one, the top weight, Cigar Flick. And now Tone's been on this. I'm sure I've been on it. And I think you've mentioned it before as well. On its day, she is a very, very good sprinter. But those days are very few and far between. Now, she's drawn barrier nine. She does get conditions set up for her. Unfortunately, Sienna Grima is claiming, but she hasn't had a win from two rides on her. But if she is going to win, then it's all set up. What's she running? Six up in the prep after winning first up and not
Yeah.
doing much since. Like I said, she is hard to catch. And we are taking on a very short price favourite and a very strong horse down in the weights. Amazing Eagle. Very, very hard to beat from barrier two with Rachel King on for Beyond Baker. But like we said, we need a rough chance. This one has come back in grade. It's an easier race, so it draws okay. So Garflick, you never know where she's going to land. Um, but it's a rough chance, and that's what we're tipping.
Well, there's a common theme there, and that's both of you could be smoking the big fat cigars after both of these races. So, race five, number six for Tone, race 10, number
Yes.
one for you, and for
What have you
me,
got for us?
I am heading back to Rose Hill as well, and I'm going to race six, number 14, down the bottom, Zumbo. Might sound like a bit of a Dumbo, might I tip in this Zumbo, but this horse has got a really good first up record. It's had four starts for two wins and two placings. It's a
Yeah.
Zoo Star mare, so I'm hoping there is a bit of give in the ground, so that'll probably suit. Um, it Look, it's a tough race. I'm not going to dispute
Yeah.
that. I mean, you've got Street Artist, she's an artist, so there's some good quality horses, but this is down the bottom in the coming in light at the weights. I do like Brett Kavanagh as a trainer. Um,
Mm.
Scone, we own a constant comes in really light. Its race form, whilst it's only had six starts, has always been in the city. So they've had an opinion of this horse anyway. Maybe not the caliber of the horses that it's meeting, but maybe it's matured a little bit and maybe might show something. So if there's a surprise, I think it could be from Zumbo, who won't be a Dumbo.
No. And we love Rose Hill. There's a 400-meter straight there. You've got plenty of time to find room and get out when you've got that lightweight on and a nice strong rider on as well. I like Winona Constant as a rider. Um, well, if she's up to the class, she's going to be right in amongst the finish, isn't she?
Well, that's the thing. It's about class. I mean, is
Mm.
she up to it? Will she be up to it? Is she going to prove that she's part of it? Do you know what I mean? Because really, first up record's pretty good. Anything can happen. Why not?
Why not,
Yeah.
indeed?
Now they're our Kickstarters, our best bets, and of course our roughies, our good old glory days, and I think it's going around
Exactly right.
well. So
Yeah, but it
it
needs a
might be
wet
suited.
track.
I know, but oh yeah, look, it could be suited if the
Mm.
heavens open, because if it's track bias and it's a wet track as well, I tell you what,
Oh,
I
there's a
hope
few
so.
others up on speed in that race. That's
Yeah,
Caulfield Race 3 that you're referring to, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah, it is. I look, I hope not, but I'm just saying
Yeah, there's some
it's
good horses there to go to beat.
the namesake.
But yeah, just for argument's sake, I actually like Let's Deal there, the half to Vow and
Yeah, so
Declare.
do I.
I like following that breed through.
Yeah, I don't mind Let's Deal. I think it's
There you go, $7. That's
yeah,
another
no,
little special.
yeah,
If you
I
watch the
don't mind
video,
it.
you get these gems.
You do absolutely make sure you're watching. You're watching. Look at us. Here we are, Marto, me, you, me.
Yes.
Marto,
Okay, we got group racing, like you mentioned.
let's
Caulfield Race
go.
5. I've already given my best in there. And Shadavar, do you like anything in that
No,
race?
that was the one where I said I'm just curious to see how photograph goes. That's all. So
Yep,
I looked at the race and I thought, yep, Marto's probably on a winner here. But because
like it.
I did notice photograph going also to Sydney, I just thought I'd throw it at you.
Yep.
Race 6 is another race, and I think it's a two-horse race. And I think you're going to say the same two horses.
Well, yeah, definitely like I live another day.
Yep.
Hard to knock that form and going first up. It's going to be in the right part of the track. I'm looking to hit something else in there as well.
War Machine
Um, no, I actually like Bridal Waltz
down the
down in
bottom.
the weights. Ben
That's
Mellum on
Moody.
barrier 3, going to be forward. I think it's well set up first up. Ben Mellum really rides his horse well. He's got three wins from 4 starts on a second. Does like the soft if it stays in that range. If it does improve, then you can put a line through Bridal Waltz. But if they stay in the soft range for this race, I think Bridal Waltz could be challenging. I'll live
It is
another day.
Moody's, isn't it? It's Moody's horse, isn't it?
It's actually is, yes.
Yeah. I saw it down the bottom. Look, I just thought I live another day. Probably should win it. It's the up and comer. It does step
Oh,
up in class, but geez, it's been winning well, hasn't it? I think it's won 5 from 5,
it,
hasn't it?
yes, yes, it has.
Can't go
Are we
wrong
still
with that.
waiting for Inkaruna to step back up? I mean, it's a horse that showed so much promise as a 2-year-old and nothing since. It's in this
Yeah,
race as well.
yeah. The problem is, has it just gone completely off the boil?
Yeah, I'd agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And a lot of mares do that too. Once they turn 3 and 4 years old, they just don't produce that same form. And maybe it's time to go to the breeding farm.
Or a nice long spell, and maybe they come back at about 5 and 6, and then they start to find their form again.
Yeah, yeah, maybe in the summer and winter racing instead of the spring and autumn.
But it is a good race, and it'll be
Yep.
interesting to see if I Live Another Day does win, where it goes. War Machine. Look, we saw it last spring
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. Went up to Queensland, was racing well as well, but who knows? Now, race 7, we've got the
McNell Stakes.
yeah, but it's the what's the $1 million race up the 2-year-old at Queensland called
The Magic Millions.
the Magic Millions. Didn't Unit 5 win it?
Yes, exactly right.
And it's in this
Exactly right.
race.
And a big, big chance as far as my numbers go.
Yep,
Um, Seize the Day, I don't think is going to be far off either.
yep,
But yeah,
yep.
Unit 5 looks the one to beat for
Yep.
me. How about you? You with it?
Yeah. Unit five's for me, and then I've
What
got
about
Seize the Day. I think one
Amer
and two probably go 1 and 2.
well, I don't know. American Eagle brings an unknown quantity here. Um, Big winner at its maiden. Did carry 58 kilos there and was well above that maiden grade, but really didn't beat much, I don't think. And the
No, I don't
time
either.
wasn't that special. I don't like backing them after their first win in the maiden. I like to see them produce something more after that maiden win because they're stepping up in grades. But American Eagle adds a little bit of interest. I think for the Freedmans, Mark Zara jumping on as well.
Yeah, I would.
But from barrier one and does get back, it's runs that risk of getting bottled up again, right?
And that's where, again, as long as the track suits the way that we're thinking it might suit,
Yep,
Unit 5 is going to be thereabouts, and so is
absolutely.
Sense of the Day. And Unit 5 has had a look here when it ran the Blue Diamond, be it, you know, you can make excuses for it or
Uh,
whatever. But it has had a look
absolutely.
at the track. So I think
There
Unit
was
5
there was no luck in that Blue Diamond run, mate. Absolutely no luck at all. And so we never saw what he could do. But yeah,
yeah,
it definitely looks at one to beat on paper, doesn't it?
absolutely. Now, race 8, which is the Memsey. Does Angel Capital get its group win here?
Uh, um, for me, the jury's still out.
It
Angel
races
Capital,
well,
but he's still doing so many cultish things wrong, and we saw that up in Renwick last start. And
doesn't
I
it?
know he ran on World late, but geez, he's still just a cult, and he's doing so many cultish things wrong.
Yeah,
I know he reacquaints with Ben Melham. He's got barrier five, which means he's going to be right thereabouts. Um,
got a good
and
full
like you
good
said,
record.
it
Good
does.
record at Caulfield.
He does. I was just going to say that he does run well at Caulfield. Maybe that's a trick going left-handed, but I haven't seen enough to put my support behind Angel Capital here. It is, that said, a really open race. Does Jimmy Starr produce first up at 1400? They are talking about taking him further. Can Cosmic Crusader back up again? That
Yeah.
was a pretty strong win last start. Well, the last two starts, really. And keeps Pike on. The outside draw might be a little bit of a problem because there's a bit of speed underneath. So he might not get his own way this time. He's going to be challenged, but definitely a good horse.
What about Bay White?
Uh, Bayvart, yeah, not wet enough.
Do
Not
you reckon
wet
it's just a
enough.
wet tracker?
I do believe that. I think the roughie in this race is Sabaj. I think things line up well for Sabaj, but like we said, they do need to be running on. If they're not running on, then Sabaj is worth the $51. If
Yeah.
they are coming on from the back, I think Sabaj could be somewhere in there about the top three or four.
See, that's the beauty of being able, like, one, to go on track, or two, to just be glued to the tally, and watching them. When I say tally,
Mm,
it doesn't matter how you're watching them, but
yep.
because that
See what the
way,
bias is doing.
yeah, that's right. Because Caulfield's renowned for it. I reckon South Australian racing is as well, and Sydney, yeah, it does too. Certain tracks, more to the point, I guess, in Sydney.
Mm.
Um, but Caulfield, I don't know. I
Well,
just
we saw that classic last week on Saturday. It was at Nash Rawiller going out and ran a lap of the track at Randwick before he rode, was it Captain John? And decided the Captain John likes a dry track, right? So he went all the way out to the outside rail for
yeah,
the
that was
first three
midweek.
quarters of that
Midweek.
race. Sorry, it was
Yeah,
Wednesday,
it was
which is
Wednesday.
yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how much I've got going on in my life. I can't remember
yeah,
yesterday or
yeah,
Saturday. But yeah, and then slingshot across the bend and took a little breather and then
yeah.
kicked on again home. That's that's a very, very special jockey. And
Oh,
th
it's a
those Raw
smart
Waters just
ride.
do it well.
Yeah, it was a super smart ride.
Yeah, Campbell does the same thing in South Australia. He goes and checks out those tracks and the best patches to run the horses in. They know their horses. They're great
Yeah.
horsemen.
No, no, that was I saw that race. I actually had a little bet.
Mm,
And I got a message, and a friend of mine asked me, "Oh, what do you like?" And I told him two horses. One that I tipped on a page, that Ruination, which they
yep.
absolutely
Oh, didn't they
punked.
come for it?
I got on. I kid you not. I got on at 4:50 in the morning. There were no scratching.
Oh,
Then when he messaged me and I checked what price it was when I tipped it to him, it
mm,
was $3.30, and the other one was Zebra Finch.
yeah,
I just thought, stepping back from a Saturday grade to midweek grade, you know, rain affected track, it probably should win. It only hung on, but the horse to watch from the Wednesday was Taxation. J Mac was on it. Um, it was in Ruination's race, but I tell you what,
right.
it motored home.
Yeah, next start, eh? Catch me
Motored,
next start.
absolutely. Sometimes you just got to put them in your black book and stick fat with them. Marta, who was the
Oh,
grand final? I mean, the Sydney Swans. Geez, I tell you what, they did well.
Oh, look, you
considering
can't
all
write off
things
him.
considered.
The mainstream media clowns have jumped off their back after they've ruined all their reputations and careers and whatnot. I mean, they did the same thing to Tanner Bruin last year, who was proven not guilty of rape and assault from the woman that was claiming, but his career is in tatters after it. They've probably done the same to these five guys at Sydney. No charges have been laid, no arrests have been made, piss tests were negative. So all the claims that the media has made has done nothing but bring these guys down. And will they ever play again? We don't know. But you can never write Sydney off. It was great to see the crowd out in support of the club. 30 odd thousand or more stayed around and cheered them and clapped them, gave them a standing ovation at the end. And you see the players there in tears and the staff as well. Just the emotional outpouring. But the big question is, what effect is that going to have to get up for that game and then back it up again 2 weeks later
Yeah,
into
it's
the finals?
the interesting thing that I thought, and again, like all these offences, they're alleged and all that sort of stuff,
Mm.
and that doesn't take away from what actually happened because we don't know what happened. But if
No,
what is being alleged did happen, we don't condone that. Full stop, right?
absolutely.
Now that said, they weren't eligible for the All Australian, and they can't go to the Brownlow. So my question is, if this all just comes out and they've done nothing wrong, even though
Mm.
they've done team rules, they've broken team rules. There's no
Oh,
doubt
yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
And
But
that's
if
deserving
they've
of a
done nothing
suspension to
wrong,
start with. Let's get that
yeah,
out the way.
yeah.
That,
But
yeah,
if they've done nothing wrong, and it's a
yep.
big if because we don't know. I mean, they don't even get in the All Australian. You can't just then
No,
say, "Well, guess what?
oh,
Um,
they're not guilty. There's no case to answer. Oh, sorry, but you didn't get the All Australian. You can't attend the Brownlow, and your careers and reputations are in tatters. Pick yourself up, because the media clowns aren't going to pay for their mental health rehabilitations. They're not going to pay and help them regenerate their careers if they're found not guilty. But it's trial by media, and trial by media is you're guilty until proven innocent, and there's no remorse for it after if you are innocent.
yeah, that's a hard. That's
And that's like I said, this happened to Tanner Bruin. There was another one over from Fremantle as well, went through the same thing 2 years ago. They've never recovered from that,
the,
but they were
the,
found innocent.
the worst thing though, Marto, is whether it's Australian rules football or any event or anything that you do, any high profile person,
Mm.
unfortunately, once it's in the media, it's always trial by media.
Absolutely. And we saw the same thing with Jamie Mellon 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
She's caught in a room with someone who's using an illicit substance, and she was convicted guilty by association, but found to be doing nothing wrong.
Mm.
It's taken her this long to get back. I mean, we still back Jamie Mellon rides now because
Yeah.
she is a good rider, but it's taken her so long to get back to the top of her game after that trial by media she went through.
Yeah,
It's they're
it's
clowns, mate. Get your nose out of it. Okay, something's happened, report it, and then let it play out in the courts and between lawyers and before a jury, whatever, if it has to. But don't convict them of being guilty until they're proven innocent in front of the whole nation.
yeah, it's hard. It's very, very hard. As we said, I
Yeah,
mean, that does not take away from, the allegations. And
of
if they
course
are
not. If
proven the
if they've done
case,
the
then
right
it's
thing,
right.
then I'll get the hangman's noose, mate. We should hang
Yeah,
them all. But until we know, we
yeah,
don't know.
it's very, very, very hard. But yeah, it was just something that I read somewhere about the All Australian stuff, and I thought that was
Mm.
interesting. Now,
Yeah, well, there's probably three of them that should be in there, at least two, and possibly a third. The only one that's in there from Sydney now is Charlie Curnow,
yeah, and I only put him in because he won the Coleman.
Coleman
I mean,
medal.
don't get me
Yes,
wrong, he's had a good year to win the Coleman, but has he had All Australian form? I don't know. But then again, if you're the Coleman winner, does that mean you should be going in?
I think that's enough to deserve it. It doesn't matter who you play for. If you've won the Coleman, you deserve the All-Australian. You've kicked the most goals for the year as a forward. That's you've earned your spot there.
Yeah, yeah. Look, again, I don't disagree. I just don't know because what's the guy from Brisbane? What's his name? Morris or whatever? He's
Yeah,
had
Logan Morris.
yeah.
Well, he got in as a forward pocket. He's in there anyway.
I know, but they don't pick blokes where they
But I tell you what, go back to the All-Australian Awards. Forget about Sydney being
Yeah, yeah.
cast out. But Maxi Gawn, he was elected the captain of the Australian side,
Oh, very
right?
well said.
And then he's rescinded and given it to Jordan Dawson because of what he's been through.
Yeah.
I
Look,
thought that was I thought that was something special.
I
We've never seen a captain rescind.
look. All I know is that what Jordan Dawson said,
Hmm.
what he's gone through, unless you know yourself firsthand or have gone through something similar, people have got no idea.
No, I
And
think some of us, most of us probably have been through it in some degree,
yeah,
but obviously
but
not.
if you haven't, because there are people out there that are
Yep.
just oblivious. They're up their own asses.
Sure, sure, sure.
And I know I had a bit of a discussion, a bit pissed off with a few people this evening
Hmm.
around arrogance. And arrogance for me sometimes is also a sign of insecurity. It's a good way to cover it up. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
that's just something that I believe. And sometimes you just got to bow your head and turn the other way and put it aside. But the way that Max handled himself
Yes.
was huge, and the mere fact that Jordan Dawson came out and spoke like that was massive. Um,
Absolutely. As he
and
says, after football, he wants to get more and more involved in that because he's been through that. He's got the experience behind it and he's been able to come back from it by using the support of his friends and family and the network around him that's
yeah,
available to him. As a professional sportsman, obviously, you've got more outlets to go to.
yeah,
But as a person, you need to be able to know that it's okay to lean on your friends, okay to lean on your families, okay to lean on your partner and talk to them about it.
it is, but we still don't do it.
No, not enough of us. No, no.
No, no. So it is. It's a bit of a pity. Anything going around? You got anything going around tomorrow at Geelong? Anything going around on sneaky bets anywhere, Marto?
No, no, I don't actually. It's all about Saturday this week,
I think I looked at
like you
something
said.
for tomorrow, but maybe I don't know where it is now. If there is, I'll add it to the chat. We won't put him in that way. Now we've missed Tony, young
We
Anthony. We've
have.
missed you. We haven't bagged you. We haven't poisoned you. So hopefully,
No.
you'll rise like the phoenix.
He's out celebrating the return of Dusty Martin, kicking six in the Legends game.
Yeah, well, I hope he's out Saturday night or Sunday morning celebrating Carlton wins too.
Yeah.
We can only hope. Marto, always a pleasure, never a chore. Or as
Cheers,
someone
mate.
else I know always says, always a chore, never a pleasure. Um, Sometimes you've got to listen to that properly because you know how you get so used to hearing it that way. But
Sure.
have a awesome weekend. I'll put this up shortly, and all going to plan. We'll have a bet thread up on Saturday.
Yes, we hope you all enjoy the weekend. Memsey at Caulfield, the San Domenico Stakes at Rose Hill, and the tracks are improving. The rain is going away.
Group
We're getting
racing
perfect conditions.
is on our doorstep.
Absolutely.
Cheers, Marto. Have a great weekend.
Enjoy the finals, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Bye bye. Likewise.